Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here once more. So just a very simple idea of displaying your military vehicle that you've just spent 6 months sticking together and painting. This is one of my cardboard Sherman tanks, and I've just made a brick wall for it to stand in front of. So rather than it just standing alone, then it just makes a bit of a diorama of it without it being too complicated or difficult to make. So all I've used is 2 different colours of grout, and we'll get on with the video and I'll show you exactly how I made it, what to do. In the meantime, if you don't mind, please subscribe to the channel. If you click the all button, you'll be informed when new videos come along. Okay, so let's get on with the video, and we'll see how I did it. So I've got my cobbled base done already. If you want to know how I did this, I've done a few videos now. Please refer to my previous videos. And I've got my tank that I want to display. This is a cardboard tank, by the way, that I made. Again, if you're interested, please refer to previous videos. All 2mm cardboard. Okay, so all I want is just a brick wall at the back. That's all. No windows, no doors, nothing else. It's supposed to be the simplest diorama that you could possibly make. So there'll be a brick wall at the back, broken down there, and then piles of rubble leaning up against the building. Okay, so what we need is a bit of polystyrene, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, doesn't really matter, and then some substantial cardboard, 2mm. This is 2.5mm thick, so that will sit on there. I shall cut that out and then cut the polystyrene behind and stick that on. Paint it with watered down wall filler, white wall filler, and then I'll come back and we'll make the bricks to go along, well, to make the brick wall. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that first, and then I shall be back in just one moment. Okay, so I cut my cardboard to the shape of the broken wall that I want, then stuck that onto the polystyrene, hot melt glue, and then just with a barbecue stick or sharp implement, just take away the rough, or make a rough edge on the edge like that. So that will be the broken part of the wall. So what we need to do is put bricks on. And it seems to me that most people these days use this styrofoam and then with a sharp knife cut out the shape of the bricks into the styrofoam. But it is a lengthy process, and so is my idea a lengthy process, and I think it's about the same length of time. But it seems to me more realistic if you use real bricks. And if you make your own real bricks, then it's going to look, well, I think a lot better. Anyway, what I shall do then to make my bricks is I've got a piece of ceramic tile, and I've put a border of 2mm thick card all the way around, so that I know when I spread my mix over the top, it's going to be 2mm deep and a constant size all the way across. So I've got some of this tile grout, brick coloured tile grout, which it's actually powdered brick. So when you add water to it, you're making bricks again. So I've put some in a tub, and that's the kind of consistency that we need. Just add water to it and mix it up. Available from any ceramic tile shop, DIY shop, or ceramic tile distributor. That's the word I'm looking for. So just spread that out on the tile. I may have just a bit too much there. And if I use the pieces of card either side there, then I know that's going to be a constant 2mm thick when I cut them. Okay, that's it. That's all you need to do. But of course I can't do anything with it quite just yet. I'll wait half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and I'll come back and then cut out the separate bricks. But then I will have to wait overnight for the bricks to dry out completely before I stick them onto my wall. But I'll be back in 45 minutes or so, and we'll cut the bricks up. Okay, so about an hour has passed, and it's dry enough now to mark out each individual brick. And I did that with a steel rule, if I can turn it around, just going across like that, and then turn it around and doing it that way. A bit obvious really, but to know when it's right for cutting, if you do use a steel rule, when you lay that on, it doesn't stick. So if it's too wet, the grout will stick to the steel ruler. So when it doesn't stick, when it just goes across like that, then you know it's dry enough to mark them out. So now we've got the shape of the bricks. We could go over the top with the back of a washing up sponge, the rough side of a washing up sponge, and give a rough appearance or face to the bricks, which sometimes did occur. So you could do that. But that now is ready for drying. I'll leave it overnight to dry it properly, and then I'll just scoop them off the ceramic tile, and they'll be ready for laying. And of course, the size of a brick, you've got to imagine a 1/35 scale person, and that's his hand, and he's holding a brick. You have to imagine him holding one of these bricks. So that's round about, that's round about the right size for a 1/35 scale brick. If you are cutting into styrofoam, personally, I think you would be hard pushed to cut as small a brick as that. They are, it may not look it quite so much here, but they are incredibly small. So it would be easier to make them like this than cutting into styrofoam. Also, if this is generally the shape of a brick, the height, width and length, and you would expect a brick to be laid like that, across and then on top of one another like that. But of course, the way I've made these, because they're only 2mm deep, the actual face of the brick will be like that. So that would have to be kind of that size really. So what I'm saying is, it's in the bricks will be laid in a different plane. They'll be laid like that rather than like that. But it doesn't matter. The end result looks just the same. Okay, I'll wait until tomorrow now, and then scrape them up, and I can start laying them on my wall. Okay, so my bricks have dried overnight now. They're still quite brittle, they break quite easily, but by the time they're stuck onto whatever you want to stick them onto, they're quite solid. They won't break then. So I've started, well, almost finished actually. I'll just do a little bit. So with PVA glue, just run a bead along the top there, and then, I don't know if you can see, place each brick along there. It seemed, well, it is a very laborious operation, but it is quite quick. It's taken me about 20 minutes to do that part, and it'll take me another 10 minutes just to finish off. I won't go all the way along. Then just level them up, and there's another row of bricks. Just level them up a bit, and it dries very quickly. So okay, so I've got that, the rest of the wall to do there. I shall put broken pieces on the broken wall on the top and side there, and there'll be rubble up against the wall here, so that's why I haven't gone all the way to the bottom. Okay, so I'll finish the brickwork off, and I'll be back in one moment, and we'll do the mortar. So stuck the rest of the bricks on, and then I put some pieces of card leaning up against the wall, and then went over with some wall filler, not watered down, so straight from the tub, so I could use that to make the rough shape of the rubble. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, then I mixed some grey grout that will form the under part of the broken wall and of the rubble leaning up against the wall. So now I've mixed some more. Oh, it's going off already. I mixed some more grey grout, and I'll just put that in between the bricks. So this will signify the mortar between the bricks. I'll only do a little bit. A bit of a gap there. Kind of like that. And then with a damp sponge, just take off the excess, and it should leave the mortar a bit more. I shall need to spend a little more time doing this, but generally speaking, that's what to do. Just put the grey grout between the bricks to form the mortar, and then I shall put more red brick up against the broken wall and the pile of rubble. That should finish it off then. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do all that. I'll finish it, and we'll come back and see what the finished wall looks like. Okay, so finished putting the mortar between the bricks, and then just wiped off with a damp sponge, and then covered the whole broken area and rubble with broken pieces of grey and stone coloured grout. And that's all I've used, just two colours of grout, that's all. And it just makes it look a little bit better, just putting that there. Makes it more in keeping, I think, rather than just the tank standing alone. So there we are, a brick wall. Nice and easy to do. And personally, I think it looks more realistic than if you use styrofoam. You'd be a little hard pushed to carve those broken bricks in with styrofoam. I think I couldn't do it. Maybe you can. Okay, so there you go, one brick wall. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't mind, and until the next time, I will bid you farewell.